First order of business. My hair is not greasy. I just took a shower and I don't feel like drying it. So deal with it. um, so I just got back from a trip to Minnesota, and while we were there, we decided to go to one of those trampoline places where you like jump on trampolines. It's just a big room filled with trampolines. And you pay like $8 to jump on an hour. And I was like, oh, I was super psyched. But the moment I stepped on that trampoline, I said, oh shit, I'm going to die today. This is going to be my downfall, because I am the clumsiest person known to human man. So I was literally just jumping straight up and down, focusing on what I was doing. I was the smart one here. I was one who didn't get hurt. My sister, on the other hand, was doing all these crazy jumps, and incidentally came down and sprained her ankle. Well, I didn't come here to tell you about my sister's sprained ankle. I came to tell you about the form we filled out after she sprained her ankle. So you can't fill out the form yourself. The court manager has, where you injured yourself, has to fill out the form. So the court manager, Courtney, comes walking over. And right away, I was like, oh, I have a feeling that she's not going to be the brightest bulb in the tanning booth. My first clue. Her skin was orange. And then I was like, I don't know, maybe she's super smart. Maybe she's taking this job to pay her way through med school. And maybe she is. I have no idea. Maybe, Courtney, you're a genius. But from what I observed, you go way beyond the word dits. Strike one. My sister's name. It shouldn't be that difficult to spell. Blake. Blake. But apparently Courtney was having a little trouble with it, though she spelled it right eventually. But as she was spelling it, we told her name, and then she was like, oh, okay. And she was very hesitant about writing it. Like, after she finished writing, she kind of looked up to me for reassurance, and I was like, yeah, good job, Courtney. But that wasn't the interesting part. When we got to my last name, or our last name, it's a 5-letter last name, and it's pretty simple. It sounds exactly how you spell it. And so we told her, and then she was like, could you spell it for me? Fine, whatever. People ask that from me all the time. And so I spelled it like A, B, C, D. And she goes, can you spell it for me again? I was like, okay, maybe I spelled it too fast. So instead of doing that, I did A, B, C, D. And then she looked up at me one more time and said, one more time, please? I was like, oh, okay. A, write down the letter A. B, write down the letter B. C, write down the letter C. My name, which should have taken, I don't know, max 5 seconds to write, took a whole 30 seconds. Actually, no. A minute. A whole minute to write. But maybe she was just having trouble getting started. Strike two. Then it came to my address. So she asked me my address, and I told her the address. And I told her, since we were in Minnesota, that we lived in Chicago. For some reason, Chicago really tickled Courtney, and she started laughing for a good 60 seconds. I don't know what's so funny about Chicago. I mean, she was full out laughing, snorting, like can't breathe laughing. If you know what's so funny about Chicago, please comment and tell me, because I genuinely would like to understand Courtney a little better. But going on, after she got over her little laughing fit, obviously, good job, Courtney. You knew that Chicago was in Illinois, so another gold star. She started out pretty confident. She was like thinking for the abbreviation, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know all the abbreviations, so she just spelled it out. And so she starts out ILL, pause. Long pause. She's really trying to think here. What comes next? Oh, I know, another L. And then she spelled it correctly. After the third L. But 3 L's? And what word in the English language has 3 consecutive L's? Didn't you go to first grade, Courtney? Did they not tell you? Did you miss that day? And it's not like Illinois is a foreign word. It's a state. We should all know the states. Did you miss that day in 5th grade where we had that test? When you knew how to spell the capitals and states? I think Illinois is a tricky state. With the S at the end, you're like, oh, I don't know, or is it like O-I or I-O? No, but never 3 L's, always 2 L's. I would even give her 1 L, but 3 L's. I don't know, maybe states isn't her cup of tea. Strike 3. So Courtney is a dodgeball court manager. So you would think she would know how to spell the word dodgeball. Apparently not. So when she was filling out where my sister got hurt, instead of spelling dodgeball as DODGE, she spells it as DOGE. Dodgeball court. You look at the signs all day, there's 5 huge signs. And the best part is, if she was ever having any trouble with spelling it, all she had to do was look up, because we were still very close to the dodgeball court. Courtney, all you had to do was look at one of the 5 signs, only one of them, and you would have known how to spell dodgeball. You're probably thinking right now, 3 strikes, you're out, Courtney. But I like Courtney. I'm going to give her one more chance. She blew it. So finally it came to the point in the form where it was asked to describe Blake as physical characteristics, such as hair, color, skin, eyes, height. Instead of doing height, color, skin, whatever, she describes my sister's outfit in great detail. Yep. Never mentions her race or heights or even hair color. But she does mention that my sister's wearing a pink striped shirt, black mesh shorts with a stripe on the side, and Nike tennies. Neon green. Oh, Courtney. Thank you for making my Minnesota trip so interesting. Bye, Tomcats. Ba-boom, boom.